Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I'm here to share with you some of the recent hardware jewelry that I've been making. This channel, I know, has been predominantly journals, and journals are one of my favorite things in the world. You all know that. I've been journaling since I was a young girl, and then journaled all through 4 pregnancies. And anyway, I love all different kinds of DIY crafting. One of the things that I've enjoyed doing for a long time is wrapping stones. Honestly, this is not a judgment one way or the other. I don't know that much about the quote-unquote healing properties. The jury is out as far as I'm concerned on that. However, I know that things do have energies. If that were not the case, elements like radium would not do what they do. My love of the stones comes from just a love of nature and things that are produced by the earth. I find it so fascinating, and of course they're absolutely beautiful. Let's see, red wire, and this is a rose quartz heart. I'm trying to write some of these down because you think you'll remember, and then sometimes you forget. Of course, the rose quartz is really easy to recognize, and this is a slab. So, and then that's kind of a raw rose quartz. They're so pretty and clear. I think things like this are so beautiful with sort of a Victorian looking a white blouse with the lace and a skirt, and then you have this really soft color stone that's so beautiful. They're so pretty, and I love to make journal charms out of these. Most of you know that I work in a large reuse center. We collect all sorts of donations to keep things out of the landfill. I often pore over the hardware, the things that come in that are just little pieces, just scraps. I have no idea what this is, what this piece here is. It's some sort of metal piece. It still has a bolt in the end. There is copper wire on this, and this copper wire, haha, it is so cool. Let me show you this piece also. This copper wire came from inside an electrical cord, and you can do whatever your imagination thinks of as far as building things like this. This is part of a jewelry chain that had been broken. I used the copper wire to attach it here, and all you need are jewelry tools like these pliers here, and there are all different kinds. I have several pairs. I have these. This actually cuts wire as well as giving you a tip to work with, and these are the same. And then you just need bits and pieces. This is a little charm that has a flower on one side, it's metal on the other. It looks like somebody just glued this velvet flower on top. That would be very pretty incorporated into something like this. They're bits and pieces. Another thing that you will need, I love the split rings. I do use jump rings as well, and the split rings are actually split. The wire wraps around more than once, and that way the charm where the loop is at the top, it goes in more than one time. One of my complaints with jewelry often is that the jump rings pull apart, and then you end up losing a charm, or you end up losing an entire piece of jewelry. This is another piece that I just absolutely love, and it's a conversation piece. So there's the heart, and there's the key. So like, key to my heart. It's got the old key. There are split rings. This, of course, was another broken chain. There's no clasp on this one because it's long enough to just slip over your head. I used red wire. Now, the jury is out as well on this red wire because this is florist wire. This is not jewelry wire, and I can already see where the color is wearing off. I do think it's pretty. But I used the red wire in here. I like it a lot better on this because this is a broken hardware necklace. All these elements, I think it's really pretty. This one is fun, and it has all sorts of stuff in it. It started with this old rusty washer. This looks like a branch that was broken off from some jewelry. I wrapped this to this, and then used again that electrical wire to just run some beads on each side. A lot of glass beads in this one. My next purchase is going to be a soldering iron. And the way I do my wire, I wrap it until there are no loose ends. It's really important to have everything wrapped and tucked in or soldered into place because you don't want this jewelry messing up your clothing. You don't want it to catch on sweaters and things. And then we've just got some sort of cast off rings. That's a little metal wire heart. There are a lot of different colors in this one. I wanted a way to use leather on this and be able to just slip it over my head. I didn't have a clasp, and that's another thing I want to buy is the little clasps that you can put into place and then use the force of pliers to clamp them down. This took some spatial reasoning, and believe it or not, I scored really high on that in high school. But I did run the cord around here and then looped it through the bead with one end and ran it through here and then looped it back up through the bead. So that put the beads on top of each ring with the leather cord coming through so that I had the loose ends up here to tie. And that hangs like that. And it hangs really nicely. There's a bee on there as well. I thought about using some alcohol ink to stain up some of this metal. I love wearing these to work. Are they eclectic? Yes. Are they special? Yes. Is it upcycling? Yes. Are they fancy? No. This one, I love this one. This one is beautiful against a black shirt. These are wonderful for work. When you're working at a place like the reuse center, you know, where you're in, say, a scrappy t-shirt or thermal underwear, long sleeve shirt, something like that, and maybe a long skirt that you don't mind getting dirty, some work boots and tights, and your work apron. Most of the time I've got my hair twisted up with a chopstick. This is perfect, and it is such a conversation piece. We often hear from our customers that they're inspired when they come in. It gives people ideas how to use things, and it's just, you know, it's the heart of reuse, taking things and giving them a second chance. So a lot of these stones, I pulled these out this morning for my note taking, and I thought I would go ahead and bring them to the table since I was showing you this broken hardware jewelry. This is carnelian. We have this pink quartz slab. This is called Kambaba jasper. I've also heard this called alligator jasper. You can see why that would be the case. I love this chevron amethyst. So gorgeous. And the clear quartz. That is beautiful. It's got this old bee charm that actually came from the scrap exchange years ago, but when I was just shopping there. This is Dalmatian jasper. You can see why. This is K2 jasper. It has, it's formed usually in granite, I believe, and this is azurite, I think. Even though this looks like turquoise, it is dyed howlite. And howlite is a stone that takes dye really easily. This is a heavy, very stiff wire on this one. This is a softer wire. I could bend this one real easily, but I don't. I take care of them and I'm careful when I wear them. This stone is gorgeous. This is a piece of agate, and I need to be careful not to wear this one to work. It already had a crack in the center when I bought it. And that piece, you can feel it want to move around, but I've had this one for several years and it's never fallen out. It's like a worry stone. It's got this little concave area, and I just love to hold this one. So I'm going to stop here. I think you get the idea, and I would love to share some DIY videos on how to make this jewelry, things to pick out, maybe lay out a selection of things that I've purchased, and then show you how I would put them together. So let me know what you think, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.